Just when
Damien
like
wanted
Twitter.
to like the tweet about the Warriors Den before we started. Hi guys, how are you?
Hello.
Welcome back to the Warriors Den. I'm Eric Pope, the community developer on the game, and the Doctor of Data has checked himself back in. Damien is back.
I'm back.
You've been touring the world.
Oh yeah.
How many countries have you been in since the last time you were
I'm
here?
tired. Just 2.
Well,
It's not that impressive.
but on different parts of the sides of the world.
Yeah, and many. No, it's if you take into account the travel, then it's more.
Oh, I do
It's
take
three.
into account the travel.
It's at least 3 countries.
Well, welcome back,
Many different cities, many different planes.
Damien.
I'm
Damien's
happy
world
to be
tour.
here.
Yeah,
I'm very happy to be here.
back in the snowy Montreal.
Yeah.
So we've got some news to get to, and then we'll have Damien give us a little update on how things are going with the game, answer a lot of your questions and all that.
Yes, let's do that.
The stuff that people like, but let's get through the business. So actually, this is a Damien thing. Right now, they've started a seamless maintenance on the game, meaning you're not getting kicked out of the game or anything, but it's a thing they're doing right now. And what are they doing, Damien?
We're updating how the match, the quit penalty works.
Yeah.
So basically, we discovered that the quit penalty wasn't working as intended.
So since Marching Fire launched, we've had lots of complaints of there's a lot of bots in my matches,
Yeah,
which is
especially
true.
on Breach.
Yeah, and the reason is people were quitting a lot without any penalty.
Exactly. So we're reapplying the quit penalty as intended. So you should have way less matches with bots, but it means also that you won't be able to quit a match after 10, 15 minutes in Breach if it doesn't go in the direction you want the match to go.
Right.
So you will have to fight.
Fight to the end.
Fight to the end. Because now it will be a 15 minutes penalty. Because it's the same penalty on all modes, so we can't do a longer penalty for Breach or shorter penalty in duel or whatever. So now the quit penalty is really shared within all modes. You still have the grace period in the first 30 seconds, so if you quit in those first 30 seconds, no penalty. So yeah, I hope it will make more matches without bots.
Yeah.
To be honest, I don't think I played any Breach match without bots since the beginning. So now I understand why. So I hope this will help. Tell us what you think about it. It's always something we can switch back, or if you think it's worse.
Yep.
But we think it will be.
It was working pretty well before.
Yeah, and it was one of the major complaints during our open test on Breach, saying, hey, we're playing way too much with bots.
Yep.
Voilà.
Cool. So that should be activated at any moment because it's a thing that's happening in the game right now.
Yeah.
Hey, we've got a new monthly roadmap to show you. So let's pop that puppy up. Pop it up, Max. Beauty. Hey, I see some stuff going on.
All those purple.
All the purple. Yeah, we added the purples while you were gone.
Ah.
You had no chance to say you didn't like the purple, so we made it purple.
It should be legendary. It's purple because it's Marching Fire?
Yeah, exactly.
Ah.
It was my suggestion to Michael Anthony, and he listened to me. See, this is what happens when you're not here.
It's so bad. It's so bad.
It's beautiful. Okay, so,
so Carousel of Death.
Quick, Carousel of Death coming out.
That's cool.
Today.
I think it's the favorite game mode event.
I think so.
I think at least it's one of the most popular.
Definitely between that and Dance of Death. I
Yeah.
think it's any of the with the
So
cool
so we're
names.
doing like the top ones, weekends after weekends. That's
Yeah.
cool.
And then that Special Warrior Challenge is an event order that goes along with it.
Yeah.
We'll dive into that in a sec. Ranked Slayer Challenge coming next week, along with Extra XP Fest.
That's
while.
cool.
Been a
People
while
ask
since
for
we-
that
yeah,
one. Yeah.
Exactly.
Now that people can have all woolen heroes since a few weeks now, maybe
Yep.
it's the time to progress them. I already rep, I think they were rep 60s on Twitter.
Yours are?
No, people shared rep 60s on the woolen heroes.
Oh yeah, people are nuts.
Yeah.
They went ham.
Okay.
Pop that back up.
So
here,
they
Max.
don't need that XP Fest.
Well,
Maybe they do.
maybe the 5 people who are at Rep 60 don't.
Maybe they should use that XP Fest to sleep a bit more.
Yes, Sleep Fest for those overachievers. This is the first time we do this with our roadmap, but I like it. You see on the 13th, it tells you when our next patch is coming.
That's cool.
Visibility, folks.
Are we that sure?
No. So that's
what I thought.
actually, that was another thing I asked Mike to add is subject to change. we don't generally tell you our patch dates so far in advance because they have to go through submission and everything with Microsoft and Sony and all that. So any slight thing could delay it. But we've had a really good track record lately, so at least now you know where we're aiming for our next patch.
Yeah. And I think we will start speaking about it a bit today. Some of the things we do. Yeah.
Dribs and drabs here.
Yeah.
Breach Vanquisher challenge. That's cool. The breach orders are starting to flow.
Love that.
Big old question mark on the 20th.
Yeah.
Not going to talk about that.
Nope.
Start your speculation machines now. And then you see the Season Faction War campaign ends on the 28th. Very cool. Month ahead. I'm going to be taking 3 weeks of vacation for the
Christmas?
holidays. Yes, that's right.
What do you do?
I have to stay here.
Because of your permit?
I got my permanent residency, which is great. They can't kick me out of Canada anymore. But
if you get out, you can come back.
when you get it, you have to wait a couple months till they actually mail you your card that says that. And in that 2 months or whatever, you cannot leave Canada. You are not allowed to leave the country, so I'm being held captive.
It was a, can I say an anecdote?
Yeah, I love anecdotes.
It was a big issue, same issue for Roman.
Yeah, I remember.
For going for E3.
Yep.
He was waiting for that card to be able to go to E3. And he was the guy presenting everything and all, you know, we don't have any backup plan. Please give us the card. And he received it like 1 or 2 weeks before going.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So looking forward to a little holiday break. But as you see on the roadmap, the game don't break.
Yeah.
The game is going to be there for you throughout your vacations, giving you very cool stuff that we won't talk about until then. Cool. Okay, so that is the roadmap. So one thing we've been doing more of, Damien, again, since you've left, because it's been like 3 months, it feels like. It's only been a month, but it feels like forever.
Just a few weeks.
We're trying to highlight the tournaments that are happening in the community week to week. Doing what we can. So we have a few again this week, actually more this week than we've had in a few weeks. So I saw a little, we have our kind of regulars who are there every week pounding away at the tournament scene, and then a few others that are less frequent, so that's cool. So we got For Honor Esports. Oops, Max is going right into For Honor Arena. Thank you, Max.
I was so
Yep.
excited.
He was just right for the button. For Honor Esports, these are our friends in Germany. We met them at Gamescom. I don't know if you remember this.
Yeah, very nice people.
Very cool stuff they're doing there. They have a PC 1v1 Open Cup Europe tournament. It's their 16th that they've done of this type. It is tomorrow at 7 p.m. CET, which Kenneth told me last week is 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Time zones suck. I can't. I just can't. Okay, now we're at For Honor Arena. For Honor Arena has 2 tournaments this weekend. There's the PC 4v4 Series. That is Sunday, December 2nd at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Hundo bucks on the line. American dollars.
I like they did the Marching Fire visual, but with the colors of Season 5.
We don't have a style guide for our tournament organizers.
No, it's interesting.
They do what they want.
I see the knowledge. It's like they bring back the knowledge of Season 5,
It's true.
apply it on Marching Fire.
Yeah.
It's good.
I don't know if they put that much thought into it. I think
think
yellow
they did.
just stands out against.
No?
Okay.
No.
And they have a second tournament happening this weekend as well. It's the PS4 4v4 series. There it is there. And that is on Sunday the 2nd at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. $20 American on the line for that one.
Cool.
And then we've got a few more that I don't have images for, but I wanted to give them the shout out. Look on, you can always find all of these on battlefy.com, FYI, if you want to participate, folks. So EG Esports has a 4v4 Dominion tourney on Sunday the 2nd at 7 p.m. GMT. For Honor Console, back from a little slumber. We love For Honor Console. They're doing Proving Grounds PS4 Dominion Tournament, North America only. $100 American on the line. That's tomorrow, Friday, November 30th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. A rare Friday evening tournament. I like it. And then we've got a group called the Global Clan Alliance.
They're good at names.
And they have labeled their tournaments the Winter Olympics.
Breach.
Winter Olympics Breach
I love that.
on PS4.
Because I was about to ask you, do we have tournaments on Breach?
They're doing one.
Here I have my answer.
PS4, it is Saturday the 1st at 7 p.m. Central European Time. And they're doing Winter Olympics Brawl Saturday, December 1st at 7 p.m. Central European Time.
Very cool.
Yeah. I hope you don't get in trouble with the Olympic Committee for taking their branding, but I support it.
I want to say another anecdote. So people don't know, but Stefan watches those tournaments.
Oh, they do know.
They do know.
He came on a couple weeks ago and like nerded out about all the tournaments he watches.
And so he sends us a recap
Yeah.
to Roman, me, and other people from the team, a recap of what he watched and what happened and what heroes are picked and all. It's really cool.
Steph is... Yeah.
He's spying on you. Just saying.
No, it's true. It was nice. We had him on a couple weeks ago to talk about that and how that is a big part of the one of the sources of information that they use for their balancing is what's happening in the world of tournaments. I also want to give a shout out to a number of our tournament organizers who I reached out to over the past week for some input on how they think Breach could be made more interesting for tournaments. So they gave a ton of great feedback. So thanks to you folks for that. The team was very open and receptive to that feedback. So thank you. Cool.
Because it's one of the things we're working on.
Absolutely.
Balancing Breach.
Breach. Okay, so we saw before Carousel of Death. Let's show you the dates that it's running. It's running from the 29th of November to the 5th of December. If you haven't played the mode, it's an elimination 4v4. You can only win when the entire opponent's team are dead on the ground at the same time.
And the more you die, the more you take time to respawn.
Just like life itself.
Exactly.
And there's an event order called the Special Warrior Challenge. November 30th to December 3rd. Be the faction with the most Carousel of Death matches played. And the rewards are as such. First place faction gets 2,500 steel. Second place faction gets 1,500 steel. And third place faction gets 1,000 steel. So everybody's a winner.
Kind of.
If you participate.
Kind of.
You have to participate.
And you have to win to be a better winner.
Sale of the week. We're skipping that next thing because it's a mistake. Sale of the week. Hey, look at that. It's an emote sale. Rub salt on the wound and down the hatch are on sale until December 5th for 7,000 steel instead of 10,000 steel.
Salty emotes.
Yeah, those are some of our most popular ones, those two. I think generally the sales we've done...
It's a bit soon to do a sale on the drinking emote. I would expect us to do that the 1st January, to be honest, but okay.
Wow. Constructive criticism to the team right on the stream. Bold moves. And we have new content this week. It is, in fact, a new effect. It's called Grasping Thorns. And if my data is correct, it's 5,000 steel, which is a bargain. Let's check out the video, and then we'll be back for Damien to answer some questions.
It's a big, bold statement. I will tell you everything about the game.
Yeah. Didn't know Max was going to make a slide that says that.
So we're discussing that there is a new weekly arcade as well.
Yeah,
I don't have the name.
Yeah.
See how prepared we are.
Yeah.
But enjoy it. And we will discuss arcade and weekly arcades in a sec.
But the big, bold slide that Max did is true. We wanted to give people an update.
Yeah.
Hey, we have Damien back. It's been a few weeks since Marching Fire launched.
Yeah.
Let's talk about how we think things are going. So This is
And
just
what's next?
Yeah.
Without spoiling anything.
So high level.
So no big reveals today.
No, this is not a reveal stream, but an answering stream. But high level, like how has the team felt about Marching Fire's launch? How do we think it's gone?
Team was super happy, to be honest. We worked so hard on that thing.
Yeah.
While being live at the same time, shipping seasons, doing
was a long
events and
year.
stuff. So it was tough. The finish line to reach was hard. But the team was happy and proud because winning heroes are a success. Then we have discussions regarding balancing and all, but they are picked quite a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I think based on the feedback we got on the open test, we did the right choices. You know, some people told us they weren't efficient enough or good enough. Maybe now some of those are too
good,
maybe. Too good, but still, I think it's better in that sense. Breach. One of the bets we did and we wanted to do with the teams to say, hey, we want to create a mode that is as popular as Dominion.
Yeah.
It's not something you usually do on a game. You know, on a game you have your very popular game on, and then whatever else you do, it just never compete against
like
it.
Tribute.
And like Tribute. And we're super happy with the results of Breach. Right now, playtime wise, it's like even with Dominion, so people play as much Breach as they play
awesome.
Dominion. So it's really cool. We're very happy about that, and we know we still have improvements to do on that game mode because it's not as old and as polished as Dominion. But still, we have very, very positive feedback on it. We had great reviews, not a ton of reviews because, mid-October, with all those games, you know, press is focused on something else than a game that shipped 1.5 years ago. But still, the people who played the game, the press who played the game, everything was really positive. Also, you're always afraid when you launch something as big and something as new that you break everything and that everything explodes, which didn't happen.
It's true.
So I think we're pretty happy about that too.
Yeah, that was sort of the neat thing about. Yes, it was a huge expansion. It was a big DLC. But for us, we do launches kind of every couple weeks, every time we do these patches. So luckily, we have a team of seasoned people of putting these new releases out all the time. So it went quite smooth.
Yeah.
So you mentioned Breach. It's cool to hear that it's being played as much as Dominion. That's awesome. Are there any improvements or changes that are in the works for it?
Yeah, so we're looking at different things. One of those being, of course, the balance between attacker and defender. In the last patch that we did a few weeks ago, we started to doing some change on the two maps. So in fact, the night map is pretty well balanced, and the two others still have some room of improvement. So we did a first pass of balancing update, and we'll do another one on the next patch. So that attacker and defender is more balanced. So that's one of the focus and something that you will see in pretty soon. So if we reach the date in mid-December. And then we're looking at, so you spoke about tournaments, we're looking at the competitive aspect of Breach, so how we can improve some parts of it so that it's better in a competitive format.
Yeah.
And then looking at the feedbacks on Breach and see what can be improved.
Cool. Another big addition to Marching Fire was the perks system, which is, I know, a big part of the team that you're involved with. It replaced gear stats. If I were to summarize the community reaction, say largely it's been quite positive. I think
it's a big change.
It's a big change, obviously, and there was definitely feedback about how we did the transition. There was also feedback that they feel less powerful, less consequential, you could say, than gear stats were, and I was wondering if you have thoughts.
Yeah, it's less game changer than gear stats. It was one of the objectives of the perk system because even if most of the people got used to the to gear stats, it was still when you were picking a new hero, starting a new hero, quite a barrier when you were playing against more progressed heroes. So one of the intent of perks was to be less of a game changer when you wanted to start a new hero or pick a different hero or select different perks. It's always a hard balance to find between being useful and not being game breaking or you know, For Honor is still a game about skill, and we wanted that to stay true with perks. So I think we reach an interesting balance. But then within the perks, I think some are more useful than others.
Yeah.
Some are more picked than others, and that's one of the things the team is looking at right now.
Yeah,
So-
I think the people who spend a lot of time building and relying on whether it's their stamina build or the revenge build back in the gear stats
Yeah.
time, they saw the biggest difference, right? Because
Yeah.
they had kind of gotten used to the game through the lens of this kind of revenge buff or stamina buff, which,
Yeah.
if I'm understanding correctly, was never actually the intent of gear stats.
Yeah, and then it makes the whole thing more complex. So people are used to play with this bank of stamina, and then some people that play mostly dual don't play with that bank of stamina, and then we have feedback on stamina, and how do you address those? So one of the objective with the perks was also to not have perks on those subjects, at least not at launch, so that if we have stamina feedback, then we know it's true on all game modes and on everything. And then we know, okay, it's a character thing, it's a hero thing that we need to update. I don't know if Steph spoke about that when he did his balancing discussion with you, but it's also one of the way for us to see, okay, now we can get feedback on the subject on revenge, on stamina, and improve the whole system without taking into account the fact that sometimes stats might break the whole thing. So it's also easier for us to balance those aspects.
Cool. Yeah, he gave a little insight into the revenge work that they're doing right now.
Exactly.
Cool. What have I got? Oh, arcade mode. We mentioned arcade. There's weekly quests. So in terms of arcade mode feedback, I think since launch, it's largely been seen as way too hard. And on the reward side, a lot of people find them not super interesting, or that there's not enough of them.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you have thoughts on that.
I disagree completely. I can complete those. So you're not good at.
Wow.
No, I'm kidding.
Wow.
It's
Starting fights.
it's true. In fact, it's something we noticed while creating the weekly arcades, because the weekly arcades are more handmade,
Right.
a bit less random. And when we were evaluating the difficulty, we saw that whatever modifier we're picking up and stuff like that, we always had those same challenges difficulty-wise. And by investigating more, we understood that it was relying a lot on the bots, level 3. So right now, one of the biggest impact of difficulty is which level of bots you will play against.
Right.
So it's not the modifiers, it's not the buff, debuff we apply on top of it based on your gear, based on the legendary aspect of the arcade. It's really the bot behavior. And the fact that bot level 3, they parry everything, they block everything, they don't care about your mix-up, they don't care about your feints. Yeah, they are very good. And their flaws, as soon as you know them, that's the only way to reach them, whatever modifier they got, etc. So it's one of the things we're working on right now. In fact, it's one of the things that will come in the next patch. So we'll lower the success rate of some of the stuff of the bot level 3. And this is just the first batch, I would say, of patch of bot level 3. We're also to plan to do more for next season. And we think it will help a lot the difficulty of arcade, but it will also help a lot the bot in themselves. You know, one of the big feedback we got when launching Marching Fire was that bots were too hard because the threshold to trigger bot level 3 was lower.
They were all level 3
Yeah,
bots.
and they were all level 3 bots, and people were like, I'm getting destroyed. and this also told us, okay, maybe there is something on bot level 3 that we didn't heard a lot because we don't have enough players playing against
Not
those.
a lot of feedback on it.
I think they're interesting in a dual situation. They're interesting when they have the same health and power and all than you, but in a context of arcade, it becomes really hard. And it really becomes an endurance fight, I would say, where as soon as you do a mistake, you're punished. And so you just try to do no mistakes during 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's not that fun. So it's one of the things we're looking at to improve arcade, and I think it will improve the whole game.
Okay.
And then we have other ideas as well, but that's one of the main things we're looking at for the difficulty right now.
And how about on the rewards side of the
So on the reward side, there are many aspects, and to be honest, I'd like to have more info on that one because I think XP still wise, so like normal progression wise, rewards are good because we try to be pretty generous. It's really taking into account your playtime on arcade. So even if you struggle against one quest and spend I don't know 20 minutes to complete one encounter, you still get rewarded for that. So I would be interested to know if it's about that or if it's about the exclusive rewards. And right now it's true that we have only one exclusive. We have some exclusive rewards. Some are on arcade and some are on weekly arcade. Right. Weekly arcade, it's the effect. And the rest is on the arcade, so the outfit and ornament. So you can create your own set, your own mythic outfits. We think it's pretty cool. We might have more to come in the next seasons. But then again, we'd be interested to know the people feedback. Is it they think we should have more quantity or are not cool enough? We had other ideas also to make rewards more interesting in arcade. I don't want to speak about those ideas now because not sure we're gonna do them. But it's one of the things we're discussing with the team.
Cool.
Last aspect on rewards is the first time we're doing something, so it's confusing people. The fact that you have the guaranteed loot on the effect only once a week, and then it's just a drop chance. We like this idea. We like the system. We think it's not explained well enough. We think it's limited to the amount of item we're giving right now, but it will getting better in the future. We might improve that as well. I think we have some ideas to make it differently than what it is today. So if you have ideas, share with us. But we like the idea to say that every week it's interesting to play the new weekly arcade because I'm sure to get something if I complete it. And we're not doing the 100% completion on each try, right, because then it would mean you would just play the weekly arcade 1 week and then stop playing it because you got the reward. So it's a balance that we need to find. We have ideas, I think, to make it better and more interesting to players, but that's the idea right now.
Okay. And how about matchmaking? We did a survey on matchmaking in the community a few weeks back.
We did a survey, a big survey, in fact, Reddit-wise on the forums. We got a lot of feedback on those. It was very interesting. We see that a lot of the matchmaking issue is also based on perception of matchmaking and perception of what we expose to the players and how we expose it, the understanding on how reputation works. So it was super interesting. It's one of the focus of the online team right now, to be honest, is to improve matchmaking. There are two aspects that we want to improve. One is improve the skill aspect of the matchmaking, so how we calculate your skill. So right now we have one idea, we want to simplify how we calculate it to see if it works better. We'll discuss it more in the near future. It's something we plan for season 9. And also for the reputation, we plan also to improve it, how we matchmake on reputation. Right. Because right now the calculation is not exactly what we expose to the player, and we want to put that more on par. And same thing is something we'll explain a bit more in the future. Cool.
More to come on matchmaking. All right. Well, let's transition to some Q&A because I grabbed a bunch from Reddit.
Do we have live questions?
We don't have any live questions yet, but feel free to grab them. Yep, Max has a transition. He loves his transitions. Let's do it. Boom. I saw some people saying, like, talk about balance.
Stefan is here for that.
Yeah. Please watch the last 2 shows we've done if you want more details, because Stefan, our fight lead, was here specifically for that in the last 2 shows we've done, and he talked at length about a bunch. He answered, I guess an hour and a half of questions. So
and what he said are still true today.
Yeah, things have not changed in a week. So go back and watch those. Damien...
I'm not here to speak about the other everything
stuff.
Else.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why we're not talking about balance. We're not avoiding it. If he talked about balance, he would say things that are wrong.
Or things that Stefan already said.
True. That's true. They wouldn't all be wrong. I gotta give you more credit.
Because Stefan is nurturing me all the info regarding balance.
Okay, so I want to say thanks again to the Filthy Spaniard. He's very good at compiling
What a
and
name.
wording his questions in a really smart way. So it helps to kind of, I think, organize the rest of the community's thoughts when they ask questions. They see his and like, oh yeah, very good. So thank you. So we'll start with him. All right, Damien.
Yes.
Are there any plans to add some more uses for salvage other than the XP boosts?
It's
He
a
gave
good
examples.
question.
I don't know if you want me to read his example.
It's a good question. I think he has some good ideas here.
I'll read. If you're gonna say that, then I'll read it.
So like he's saying, re-rolling gear perks, making it so that it upgrades, changing gear appearance, things like that. So to be honest, right now, salvage, it's not at our top of the priority. It's in a better state now that you can use it for something else. It's true that it's only XP boosts, but it's better than before. And we think it's not the top priority. So it's not a big game breaker. True, that's something that can still be improved, but for the moment, it's not something we're looking at intensively. I think we have a better subject like perks balancing and stuff like that to look at first.
Cool. Would it be possible to re-examine, this is the same guy, would it be possible to re-examine which color palettes are available for attackers and defenders instead of just neutral? At the moment, there's a very large number of palettes which should clearly be attacker or defender, but are for some reason only limited to neutral. For example, the Wulin Mask outfit palette.
So it's good feedback. To be honest, it's a thing that we're constantly doing. I'm always surprised to read that because I think it's fixed, and then we ship new colors, and we're still doing. Sometimes we're missing the thing when it's not obvious. So the only reason why sometimes we're neutral is because it's when a color palette has both type of colors, like blue and red, or those ones, and so it's harder to notice if those are attacker or defenders. But we try as much as possible to put them either attacker or defender on top of neutral. If you have obvious ones that you think should be attacker or defender, please submit those to us so we can send it to the team so that they can improve it along the go. I know it's something we will be constantly doing, but right now when we produce new colors, we ask ourselves if they should be attacker or defender. Sometimes I think we miss it, but yeah.
On that
I agree,
same
if you have obvious ones, let's do it.
On that same subject of colors, Horizon 2014 asks, how about a color swatch for effects and hair and beard so we can change those colors? A blue version of Crimson Conquest would look great.
It's interesting. It's a good idea. For beard, it's something we looked at with the team, changing beard. Right now, the color of the beard is based on the loot of the armor path you get. So it's what's defined a different
the headpiece.
Headpiece, exactly. Something that we could change maybe in the future. We had some discussion with the team on that. We didn't make any decision out of it because it means we would need to change all the headpieces that we have today. So it's more complex than that. Then it's also a new interface to change that color, etc. So the more we're digging into it, the more complex it was going for something pretty small. So I don't say we will never do it, but it's not at the top of our priority, and it's something the team has already discussed.
Cool.
Regarding the idea of changing effect color, I think it's a cool idea. We wouldn't be able to do it like a color swatch because it's really a different color when FXs where you need to produce it. We already delivered some FX in different colors. I think the weekly arcade one is a good example. It's the same one of the. It's not exactly the same one, but it was inspired from the Rep 60 one that is yellow, but in a red version. Yeah. I think we have the plasma effect that has 3 different colors, one for each faction that is different. So it's something. It's already something we're playing with a bit. I think we can play it with more. I think it's a good idea.
Cool. Moving on. Still from the Filthy Spaniard. Again, he had like a bunch of questions, but we thought they were good, so let's answer them. Are there any plans to revamp the most underplayed modes like Tribute. Normalizing XP and skill gains might help, for example.
So it's a good question. How we reward XP and stuff on a Breach and Arcade is based on playtime, and something at one point we'd like to apply on all game modes. So I think this should help what he's saying. I think it should help as well Duel, that can have very short and very long matches depending on how you play it and your opponent. So it's something we'd like to spread to other modes at one point.
Cool. Any plans? Oh yeah, this is one I've seen asked a lot. Any plans to increase the number of loadouts available per character?
Again, I think it's a good question. It's something we looked at, like when we were looking at also at the inventory size. Loadout is more complex than inventory size because loadout has impacts on other subjects. So I won't go into many details, but for example, when you arrive on the hero grid, we preload all the loadouts. So if we give you more loadouts, then it means more loading to reach that menu, which is not cool. So it's always, we have a lot of decisions like that to make, where we want to have the best balance between loading and etc. So I don't think we will increase loadout number, at least in the recent investigation we did, there wasn't an obvious solution based on the other constraint we got. Inventory side is something we discussed a bit more. Maybe we will be able to improve it at one point, but same thing, it's a tricky subject. Because it's impacting a lot, many different aspects, the size of your profile, the size of many things that's spreading on all other subjects on the game. So those are tough subjects.
Okay. Why do the Wulin only have access to so few battle outfits? Any plans to allow them to use the rest of them?
So I think we'll do more, but we won't redevelop all battle outfits for all the Wulin. So when an outfit is existing, putting it on a new hero is still a job. So it's a job of integration, of redoing the shapes, the textures, and everything. So it takes a lot of time. And so we wanted to have a different approach with the Wulin, and maybe with the future, is that to really take more best of approach of content. So use the most popular one, spread the most popular one, and things like that.
Okay. And then on behalf of someone else?
Because just coming back, because and then saving that time allows us to create new outfits for all heroes.
Great. If you could share, we sort of answered this one, but it was the Blue Tunic link asked if you could share some data about Breach mode.
Yeah, so I don't have the exact data right now on each map. I know the win rate is better than during the open test because that's his question. We still have room of improvement on the Samurai and the Viking map, and something the team is intensively looking at. And we need a good number of matches between each patch to understand what is the impact of what we do. So it will take several iterations until I think we get there.
Okay. I've seen a couple of people in chat mention they're missing their pre-order outfits for pre-ordering. If that's you, contact support because they can help you out. So just create a support ticket at support.ub.com because if you pre-ordered, you should get those outfits.
Agreed.
Okay, Fast as Cougar asks, can you please fix the disappearing indicators in 1VX?
So it's an issue the team is well aware of, to be honest. We're discussing it a lot. It's not an easy one, it's a tricky one, but it's on the top priority list for the fight team and the UI team. I don't know how and when and we'll be able to fix it, but it's definitively an important one for all of us.
Cool. Ashin with a 3. Ashin with a 3. When will the maps be fixed? Invisible obstacles and glitches through the map, ? So I actually sat down with our level design director yesterday, which was a nice chat, get a little look at what they're working on, but also we talked about because a lot of the work they do is very kind of longer term. To build a map is a really long process. They can do things in the shorter term, like addressing specific bugs. So on the community side, we're going to be doing some gathering of map-specific glitches, like this guy's mentioning, like invisible obstacles or falling through the map. If you know of some, if you haven't seen them reported on Reddit, please report them, because we're going to be doing kind of a sweep through to try to get as many as we can to hand them off to the maps team, so they can, in between other tasks, they can do focusing on these and prioritizing these.
I know we did a lot of those in last patch. We fixed a lot of those, and it's a constant fixing the team is doing.
There were two questions, one from Mechanized12, one from Chaotic Mofos, both asking, what's up with the year of the Harbinger?
Let's reveal everything.
Maddie's in San Francisco watching the show, and she's going to jump through the internet to choke you.
We can't tell you more. What I can tell you is that it's really cool, that you will know more in the not too distant future. I think it's also, I saw a lot of questions in your Reddit thread about, are you still supporting the game 2019? It's one of the answers, like, yes, obviously, and we have a lot of things coming. This is one of the biggest things. You will know more pretty soon. And we have some surprises. Again, maybe some that will be before next year.
Maybe some that might have been a big question mark on the roadmap.
Maybe. Anyway, don't worry. Be happy. It will be good.
Oh boy. I want to see someone take that song, Don't Worry, Be Happy by Bobby McFerrin. Every time he says those words, put Damien in it saying it. Oh my God, please someone make that. Long Dong of the Law will make that for me. He owes me a favor. Okay. Or Master James. Yeah, Master James is good. Okay. Another question from Nelatherian. Sounds like an elf. How are you planning on tackling the issue of people rage quitting, Damien?
So I think we discussed it. The maintenance is based on that.
Yeah.
So the fact that people didn't get penalized for quitting, they were quitting very easily. So bringing back quit penalty will help a lot on that. And then we'll see if we need other solutions.
Cool. He offers an interesting suggestion.
Yeah,
that,
his suggestion is that when you quit, if you want to join back, if you want to play again, you will join back the game you quitted.
Yeah.
It's something we did for the tournament, in fact. That's how tournaments work. You join back the tournament. Harder to do it on a match level, because the thing is that when you quit, somebody else can replace you, because you are not waiting to be sure will you join back or something like that, because you could also decide to not join back and wait for the penalty, and then it creates a bad match for everybody because you're not replaced. So right now we are favoring, we're rather replacing as fast as we can so that the match is balanced. So that's the approach we have for the moment.
Ooh, I like this. Who says this? WV Kush. Being able to invite your friends to a match that's in progress would be good.
Yeah, so it's a great idea, and it's it's an idea we discussed a lot with the online team, to be honest. And for the same exact reason as the one we just discussed, it's not possible.
As soon as someone leaves, the system is going to look for another person to slot.
And so the time you invite your buddy and that he comes, the slot is not. And then let's say we need for us to make that happen, so that you block that thing. But then let's say he can't join or whatever, he doesn't join. Then again, we fall into the situation where it doesn't work.
Makes sense.
I think it's something way more easy to do in a game where you have hundreds of players, because there you go, you can't block things like that. But in 4v4, where the balance is so tight and you need those players, it's harder for us to favor that type of behavior. That's why something that works really well in custom match, you can do it in custom match, but in match-made match, it's not something we can do for the moment.
Okay. Growls Ritter the 13th. Growls Ritter the 13th asks, is it possible to have free roam emotes be selectable in combat emote section and vice versa? And any chance of an emote wheel and execution wheel? It'd be nice to have the ability to use more than 4 executions or emotes if possible.
It's a cool idea. So switching combat emote and free roam emote, it's not possible. At least not that I'm aware of, because they were designed to be combat or free roam emotes. So with the constraint of the lock and everything else, and how you can move in those situations. Emotes will, then it's a whole new feature. To be honest, something we discussed the wheel as well for sending sentences and stuff like that. Wasn't the priority, it's not the priority for the moment. I hear the envy to equip more executions and to equip more emotes. I agree that it would be cool. But it's not something planned for the moment.
Cool. Up here, what do we got? The Sharkcraft. Is there consideration for adding more perks overall? Can we also get idle effects available for our character's slow walk? Those are 2 questions, sir.
Yeah. So adding more perks, it's something we'll see in the future. I think first we want the perks that are shipped to be balanced and good and all interesting. So I think the team will be focused on that first. And then we see if we can and want to add more perks. But it's not something we're dead against, to be honest. I think it could be cool to add more perks. But for the moment, focus is to make those good. Can we get, so why idle effects works on idle? It's also a trick. It's a trick. It's a trick that we use so that the game can sustain an amount of effects. The fact that it's only when you're idle, we're sure that you're not doing something else. So we're sure that not everyone is spamming the effect at the same time, etc. So that's why we have those based on emote, execution, and idle. So we can't and we don't want technically to apply effects when we start moving, because then it brings way more tech challenges.
Yeah, got it.
So it would be amazing, but for the moment we can't.
What's up? It's me, says
Mario.
What's up? It's me. Why isn't it what's up? It me. All right, whatever. Can we expect a change on the post-match menus? They take too long. Sometimes force you into the next game. Yeah.
So I think the thing that makes them taking too long is the fact that you can't skip the celebrations, and it's, I think, the only place in the game with the faction war flow where you can't skip. Even the faction war flow, I think you can skip pretty much everything now. You can't skip those animations. We agree with the problem, something we want to fix at one point. And already doing that will help a lot. And then we'll see what's next. But at least being able to, when you see the celebration, skip it. We agree with the issue. And the fact that we have matches like Breach now, that grants you a huge amount of XP. Huge. Then you can really wait a lot in that menu. I agree.
I agree with your ID.
With the pain.
Okay. Glitch Hunter 33 had kind of a broad question, but it's kind of a fun one. Other than balance, on what else do you collect data?
Mostly on your dogs, pets. No, I'm kidding.
It's weird.
What you eat? No, I'm kidding.
It's weird that your brain first went to my dogs.
I was looking for something funny. Anyway, it's not that funny.
But that's what I like. It wasn't very funny, but it gives a very interesting insight in the brain of Damien Keegan.
I would love to say on everything, but no, we can't collect data on everything.
But you have
because that's one of the things also, is that you need to balance your bandwidth. So because we want the game to be fast, to be responsive, and the more you collect, the more you track, the more everything. Yeah, exactly. So it's a balance to find. But we have heat maps. We have.
There's a hashtag in the chat. Send Damien dog pics. Send him dog pics on Twitter. He would love it.
I don't have a dog.
Yeah, see, now we're getting to it. We're getting down to it. That's all right. I'll talk to your wife. I'll give her a call. Say, Christmas time's coming. Got
A
a
box.
perfect Damien gift idea.
A yapping box.
A yapping box.
So we're tracking the amount of match played, where people's time spend their time on the game. Also matchmaking success, for example. Then with whom you matchmake based on your level. So the success rate as well on the quality of the match is something we track. We track pick rate of heroes, progression of heroes, progression of your account.
In fact, just if I could jump in, so that matchmaking survey that we did, we emailed it to our players, but we also put it on Reddit.
Yeah.
The people that we emailed it to, it gives us the ability to actually correlate their gameplay data with what we're with what their feedback is. So that's really
So
cool.
to understand
Yeah.
why they say some things, or to try to understand it.
Yeah.
That's a very
Yeah.
cool insight. So heat maps, of course. So we're tracking a bunch of things, what move you use with your hero, things like that. We have two types of tracking. We have more detailed tracking, but only for a small part of the population, then broader tracking on everybody.
Cool.
Yeah, but
That's probably enough said on what
no, but for example, I had a question on Twitter asking me, hey, do you know what's the percentage of player playing without the stance widget, with the stance widget off? And I was like, oh, that's a pretty cool question. And we don't track that.
Can't
Sorry.
track everything.
No.
Okay, Sergeant Bear Patrol. Love this guy. Any word on removing the player has left the session boxes that pop up in game? They kill chat on the PC. It's hard to keep conversations going. And it also blocks important stats on the hero screen. And it's annoying in general. I don't need to know who left the session. Is what he said.
It's a good feedback. The team is aware of it. I don't have the solution right now, but the team is looking at it. We'd like to improve that if we can.
Okay.
That's all.
Daddy Law 69, great For Honor streamer. We hosted him a few weeks back. Very nice fellow. Delightful accent.
Yes.
Delightful Irish accent. It was funny. It was funny. Fun story about Daddy Law 69. When I contacted him, be like, hey, is it cool if we host you after the show? I was like, yeah, that's awesome. And then I looked back at our chat history, and he had chewed us out a year ago about some balance shit. Woof! I'm glad you came around, Daddy Law. Glad you came around. Oh yeah, he was banned. He was banned from our chat, actually. Welcome back. Good guy, though. I love
Everybody
Ireland.
can do mistakes.
Everybody can do mistakes. Quote of the day.
And we're not judging you.
No, God.
But please stop it.
We're too old. Yes, please stop. Very good. Did I ask his question yet? No.
No, you didn't.
Fucking yapping. Do you guys plan to add any other types of materials to the game? For example, platinum or titanium for Rep 60 heroes. D69 SIP. Love you guys. What the hell does that mean? Is that like an emoji that turned into text? D69 SIP. Love you guys.
It's something we're discussing with the team and our art director. It's way more easy to do it for the knights than the other factions, to be honest, and we don't want to favor any faction. So we don't have any plan to add any new materials, but it's something that sometimes we think about and we'd like to do ideally at one point, but for the moment.
It's something that sometimes we think about, like Damien and dogs.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think that is it for question time with the Doctor of Data. So now we're going to head to Community Corner. Are you going to stick around, or do you have a meeting you have to run to?
I don't know.
All right, he's going to stick around.
I will check.
Community Corner time. Hit it, Max. Keep grabbing them if you see good ones.
I am happy to stay because it's a long time I haven't seen those videos. So.
It's true. Damien loves your videos. So he's going to stick around, which means you can keep asking questions, which Alex can then grab from the chat. We maybe answer between some videos. No pressure. This is the fun part of the show. If you don't want to ask questions, don't ask questions. It's fine.
And some people are asking me if I consume a lot of data. I'm consuming a lot of data every day. Every day.
Consuming a lot of data. All right, first video. We had a couple of videos in this vein this week, as I'd expect, based on the emote. Long Dong of the Law did alternate version of Daubeny versus Holden Cross.
These warriors don't have to die. Trial by combat, right now.
You knew it. You knew that was going to happen? Yeah. Okay, next video from Lord.
So we shipped that emote.
Oh, yeah, we shipped that
cool.
while you were gone, yes. And we leaked it while you were gone, too. We
cool.
leaked it and then we shipped it.
Like always. So nothing changed.
A couple more questions. Undead Soviet wants to know, how can I get an accent like yours, Damien?
Be French.
We have a lot of French coworkers that don't talk like you.
It's true.
The only one that I've noticed is Lori.
It's, yeah, but because all Canadians, they have a very good English accent.
I wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't go that far.
Pretty
As the
good,
American in the
pretty
room,
good,
I wouldn't say that.
Pretty good. For a French guy, when they speak English and when you speak English, it's the same.
Yeah, it's pretty much.
For us, it sounds the same.
Yeah.
But when I speak English, it really doesn't sound the same at all.
No.
And I'm okay accent-wise compared to many different other French people.
It's true.
So yeah, I don't know. It's
regional too, right? Whatever your regional accent is in French translates to your accent in English.
Yeah, we suck at English.
No, you don't suck. Your English is great.
We do.
It's just an accent. You never stumble on words. You just have an accent. That's
in
all.
France, we're not that good for that. That's not our style.
Now I feel bad. Damien's having like a downward spiral of self-esteem on camera. Whew. Danula CZ asks, will there be more Breach maps in the future?
Maybe. Maybe not.
Maybe. We'll
Who
see.
knows?
We do still have a maps team.
Would that be valuable?
And the maps team are working at Ubisoft. Next video from Lorcheon. How Marching Fire started.
That sounded like...
Wulin.
Do you smell it? That smell. The kind of smelly smell. The smelly smell that smells.